Horror Stories Part 2. No, don't include that.
I'm absolutely including
Right. Okay, I'm going to tell you a hilarious story. It's not really a horror story. It's more of a hilarious story that actually happened last week. And I get a panicked phone call from a vet, and she's like, there's 2 horses running around the car park. I'm like, what do you mean there's 2 horses running around the car park? She's like, there are 2 horses running around the car park, and all the evening guests are about to arrive, and the main road is on the side, and I'm terrified. They come really fast down the road. She's like, I'm terrified they're gonna have an accident. And I've been chasing them, and basically we managed to chase them and put them into the garden for the house that lives next door, and the couple aren't there. And do you have the phone number so I can call the couple and tell them, by the way, there's 2 horses in your garden that we managed to find. So Yvette's pregnant, and I had visions of her running around after these horses, trying to capture them and put them into the garden. I guess the moral of this story is make sure if you are having weddings in rural areas that, there are no attacking peacocks or wandering stray dogs or horses or chickens or sheep, which I've also seen break into a wedding. So yeah, rural weddings and animals. Interesting mix. Horror story number 2, cake. There was one particular wedding where they had like a lot of frosting on their cake, blue frosting, and it had like blue frosting and these blue flowers all over the cake. So it came to the point where they cut the cake, and then they both have the piece of cake, their arms are entwined, it's all great. And then I can't remember which one, but one of them decides to go full American tradition, which is smash said cake in face. So they had a little laugh about it. It was all good. We then came over to the bride to help her remove the cake from her face. At which point we suddenly realized the blue had dyed anything it touched. Face, teeth, tongue, dress. And you could kind of see the horror start to come across the bride's face as she realized what was going on. So we kind of grabbed her, marched her off to the bathroom, where someone thankfully went and got some soda water, which managed to try and get it off her skin. We then found some foundation, managed to retouch her makeup. We managed to get most of it off of her teeth. Could not get it off the dress for love nor money, but made it look a bit better. But we couldn't get it off her tongue. And she was kind of standing there, half crying, half laughing, being like, oh my God, what do I do? So in order to handle the situation and not freak her out completely, we basically sent all of the bridesmaids and all of the groomsmen over to the cake to get their hands on the frosting and the petals, suck on them to turn their mouths blue. And then we did a photo of all the bridal party. I got a photo of them all sticking out their tongues with blue tongues, and, we made it very fun. So, moral of the story is if you are having an American cake with blue frosting or blue petals, actually just don't. It's not a good idea. Wedding horror story number 3. I hate candles at a wedding. If I see a naked flame at a wedding, it freaks me out. I know it looks beautiful, and I'm not massively keen on any of it because of hair. Basically, there was a top table, and the couple were at the top table, and they had tea lights on the top table, and these were lit tea lights. What had happened is someone had moved the tea light to the end of the table because they obviously wanted it out the way. One of the guests with very long hair, you can see where this is going, came over to say hi to the couple, crouched down to sort of lean in to talk to them, leaned forward, hair falls forward, catches fire on tea light, hair goes up in flames. Now, luckily, it was all caught very quickly and no damage was done other than just burnt parts of hair and a very strong smell. If you've ever smelt burning hair, it's really not very good. That lingered for at least 20 minutes. The bridesmaid was fine, a little bit shocked, and obviously missing a chunk of the front of her hair, not ideal, but she wasn't actually hurt, so everything was fine. So my rule, if you have to have a naked flame, it needs to go in something that's at least 3, if not 4 times higher, so that it's almost impossible for anyone to get hair or a napkin or anything. And if they do put something over it, all that will happen is the flame will go out. So think in terms of safety if you insist on having candles at your wedding, but really the electric ones do just fine. So those are my 3 horror stories. There will be more. I'm sure I can think of some more, but for now that will do. Cheesy smile at the end.